welcome back to Final Fantasy XVI. This is episode 29. Last time, we launched the Enterprise and, in pursuit of the Einhanyar, ended up in an incredible battle with Odin for a little bit. He split the sea in two for a hot second there, and we had a good fight. He kicked our butts, and then we had a romantic scene in our way to get Shiva's powers. Oh my god, just pure love and amazing stuff. But we've got a side quest extravaganza ahead of us today, as usual.
I wasn't
Because
expecting you back, so.
the game is just throwing them at us at this point in the game. We're going to collect our 2,500 ability points, which is nice. Natalie reports an unexpected surplus in Dalamil stores, and as a means of showing the town's gratitude for past assistance, has expressed her distinct wish that one Lord Underhill partake in their good fortune. Calling back to Lord Underhill. Yes, 1635. Couple more tiers left.
Come again. I may have more for you.
So we've now got 6,500 ability points, which is nice. So I think what we can play around with here is... I really like Mesmerize and Diamond Dust together. Cold Snap is alright, I suppose, with like sliding around. It's not like... I don't know, it's not the coolest thing ever, but you can temporarily freeze enemies with the attacking with circle, so I feel like that's kind of like the appeal of it. I need to get used to being able to do that. Phoenix Shift, Deadly Embrace, and Titanic Block continue to be my three favorites. Being able to summon Mega Flare is pretty damn awesome too. But I think we're going to commit to... It's tough. It's tough. It's tough out here. What I could actually do is I might keep Titanic Block on, but we'll like master these two. Bear with me. I don't have to master this anymore, so I got a refund. I'll upgrade it. I'll go over here. Instead of Shiva, I'll put on Titan. And then I'll put Diamond Dust over here. And we'll put Raging Fists over here. Feels weird to have blue on two different ones, but I think this is a way that I can have Phoenix Shift, which I enjoy. Titanic Block, which is just fun. Especially with Raging Fists. I think this works well if I have Gouge on that one. Okay, this is going to be really weird. This is why I wish I could have 3 abilities per thing. But if I master this, and then also master Gouge, I can move things around a little bit. So I feel like being able to block or Raging Fists and then with Gouge just works really well together, especially these two, because it just shreds the stagger meter. It's just weird not having it on Deadly Embrace, and then we're going to put Shiva's abilities on here. So we've now got 4 icons in different ways around here, which is nice. We're starting to be able to shift around a little bit more. It'd be great to have a Bahamut ability in here somewhere as well. You could, I think, it's unfortunately impossible to have one ability for each and every icon. As long as, if you include these, you can. So you could have like 3 circle abilities, and then you could have like the mix and match other icons, and you could in that way have bits and pieces of every single icon at your disposal, but I think we'll go with that. refund anything that I'm not using. I think everything that's equipped is upgraded for the most part. I'd like to get... Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I kind of want to upgrade aerial blast so we can have that waiting in the wings for when I want to use it. But for now, I will wait. That'll be the next thing, I reckon. Because the only reason to master abilities is if you want to put them on different icons. Once you upgrade them, they're as powerful as they can get, so it's good. Okay. 2,500 ability points was definitely nice with that in mind. And we'll have to see how we go with that arrangement, but I think that's pretty good. So we're going to go to Dravost first for Blacksmith Blues 4, but as you can see, the fields are green, so there's a lot for us to check out. And we will have no trouble doing so. Hopefully they're all good side quests. That's the important little stinger there. Hopefully they're all good side quests.
So Dravost is still standing. For now, at least.
If you can swing a hammer.
And this is good because we haven't actually checked what's inaccessible, but we haven't actually looked down this area yet. Because we only focused on the main side quest at hand.
The brass neck of that girl. Everyone's coming together to fight for their lives, and she hasn't lowered her prices a gill.
Clive! You're here!
And the Akashic?
Mostly off to the north still. But I spoke to Doris's scouts and it turns out things are worse than I thought. There's swarms of them out there. Told old Snotty to be ready to seal the north gate. That should buy us some time if we need it. Enough for the villagers to barricade themselves inside their homes at least.
Well done.
Welcome back, Sid. I'd never have guessed, you know. Not if August hadn't let slip. Who'd have thought that the savior of Dravost would turn out to be the realm's most infamous outlaw? Keen to help us out again?
I am.
Thought you could sneak off without me, did you?
Here we go.
Blackthorn.
Oh, what are you doing here?
One of the scouts couldn't keep his voice down. Unlike my best mate who didn't think I deserved to know. Zoldan, how long's it been? Long enough for us two to turn into a pair of old codgers, I see.
That your idea of an apology? Prick.
Don't listen to him. You only did what you thought was best. For the village and that.
I did, yeah. But that ain't the whole of it. Vulcan, our master, didn't leave the chiefdom to the two of us. He left it to me. The best blacksmith in Dravost, barring himself, of course. Bloody stupid tradition, in my opinion. If someone's got talent, you should let them practice their craft, not ask them to settle petty feuds and barter for grain. Our master wasted half his life that way. I wasn't about to let that happen to me.
So you wasted half of mine instead.
You're what Dravost needed. Under me and my precious ideals, this place wouldn't have lasted a year. So I left to devote myself to the work and spare you lot the consequences. I may be a selfish prick, but I only did what I felt I had to.
What you had to do was your duty!
Even if it meant we all starved?
Enough. This is no time for bickering. You can finish beating each other up once Dravost is safe.
Fine. I've said my piece anyway.
Yeah, so have I.
Sorry, Clive. I shouldn't have stuck my nose in. We're short enough on time as it is. Still, give us a mo, would you? I need to get my head straight before any of them Akashic try to bite it off.
Two old men yell at each other. Two old men yell at clouds.
Prick or not, I won't abandon Dravost to a swarm of Akashic.
Just say the word. The villagers know to keep out of sight when the fighting starts.
Speak with August when you're ready.
Sid, good to see you.
Our scouts are keeping watch on the edges of the ether flood. Any movement, you'll be the first to know.
Okay.
Anyone without a blade, come and get one. Sharpest edge in travel. If you can swing a hammer, you can swing a sword.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
We've spread the word. Those who can't fight are taking...
Just taking a look at what everyone's got to say before we get to battle.
Promise you'll come back to me. Don't you dare leave me alone.
I promise, all right? Now stay indoors and stay quiet.
Something that I think is really kind of impressive, and this is an updated reflection on the background dialogue of this game, because earlier on in the game I had a different opinion, and now that we've spent so much more time with the game, I can really see what they were doing with situational and environmental dialogue, and I have to commend it, because there are so many characters that talk and say things that are just off in the background. Like I had to go out of my way to go and see what they had to say, because when we complete this quest, they will no longer be talking about it. Like there's so much dialogue that has been recorded just for you to like walk around and get an updated story on for everyone everywhere at all times. And the only times where you're going to have repetitive dialogue that happens is when you stay too long in one area, when you're like repeating a bunch of stuff. And I initially was a little bit bothered by that, because I was like, man, I've walked past this stupid guy telling his son to freeze the fish like 20 times. And that was like because we were just going back and forth between one area that kept refreshing. But I really need to praise the amount of dialogue here. And then it makes it really strange when there are the situations where you talk to your characters in the hideaway, or like the bigger side characters, and they only say like the first sentence in their thing, where they go, oh, I don't know about that. And then I have been like voicing the rest of their sentences when you ask them about the sky or ask them about Karen or anything. So it's really weird that the dialogue you're more likely to engage with in this game is not voiced. Only some of it is, and then you'll have a dude all the way over there that a lot of people will probably miss, talking about like making a promise to return to his family and that sort of stuff. And it's important and it's good detailing for environmental storytelling, but it's just kind of funny to sort of think about the amount of effort they go to with dialogue that can easily be missed, and then dialogue with actual characters that is just unspoken. It's just a strange thing. But I have definitely changed and updated my opinion on the environmental dialogue. I think it's very, very well done once I got to see just how much it is in this game and how much it changes just even from quest to quest. It's great stuff.
You, ready for the off then?
I think that was enough time for August to clear his head, don't you?
We can't afford to waste any more time.
Right you are. Might be worth having one last word with the scouts, though. Don't want any nasty surprises, do we? Oh, and Blackthorn, you and Zoltan might be better off staying inside the...
Akashic on the move.
How close are they?
Within sight of the walls, and there are more coming up from the mines.
What was I saying about nasty surprises?
They'll wash right over us if we stay out in the open. We're pulling back behind the gates.
Good idea. Get yourselves inside, but keep your weapons handy.
Understood.
I'm prepared to fight if I have to.
Well, let's hope you don't. That's our job. Once the scouts are inside, order your men to barricade the gates. No heroic last stands, you hear me? No fighting at all if you can help it.
August's right. I've seen what Akashic beasts can do to armor. The people here are tough and willing, but they ain't equipped to face what's coming.
I'm going out there. Start work on the gate as soon as I've left. I'll give you as much time as I can.
And if they kill you?
You evacuate. But it won't come to that. I promise.
You'd better be right.
Take good care of Dravoj till I get back.
Leave it to me. And give those things what for, yeah?
Alright, it's battle time. Akashic beasts. Look at this big boy.
All right. Which one of you's first? You're finished. Waken wins!
Oh, nice. We got a griffin. An Akashic griffin. Oh my god. That's fucked.
Too slow.
Well, fuck. What can I do? That was the wrong attack to do that to, wasn't it? Oh.
Yeah. Fire and flame!
Oh. Damage.
Is that it?
Oh, what is that? Yes, we got a chimera. Let's go. Oh my god. Whoa.
You're not getting past me.
Damn. I thought that was a projectile and it was, but it didn't work.
All yours, Torgal.
How does that not count as a projectile? God damn it.
Waken wins!
The dragon's voice, the ram's voice. Okay.
Nice try.
Come on.
All yours, Torgal.
Dude, Chimera fight. Really fucking sick. Great moves. I love how there's like two attacks. So there's the dragon's voice on the outside to get you, to pull you in, and then the ram's voice to like throw you out again. That's really cool. Great moves, dude.
Now, the question is, did I miss any?
Man alive! You're still in one piece!
I slew as many as I could.
As many as I could, he says. The old bleeding lot, more like
Yeah.
it. Well, almost.
Only almost.
Yeah, one or two did try to sneak over the wall. But we got the bastards, don't you worry.
Good. Though you do know, more will come in time.
In time, yeah. But we can think about them later. Let's get you back inside.
Yeah, just casually took on the Akashic Griffin and the Chimera. No problems, guys. God, this is definitely a fun. This is a super fun version of Blacksmith Blues right there. And then Blackthorn will see and be inspired by what we've taken on. He's like, I need to get you a nice blade that can slay those beasts. Oh, I'm waiting for us to have like a Blackthorn Zoltan Blacksmith reunion situation, like Brock and Sindri from God of War, and then they put their blacksmith skills together to make us the ultimate weapon. Actually, wait, is that how we can get ultimate weapon in this game? Also, I just realized I forgot to look at this new sword that we got. Look at that. That's a good one. Nice blade. The blade actually looks like a blade this time with a pointy end. Forgot that we made a new one. Because usually we check it out. So now that that's done...
charging at me.
and he threw himself in its path. He died to save me.
No, he didn't. He's just out cold. He'll be fine when he wakes up.
So now that that's done, the dialogue will change because it no longer applies.
Thank you for your help, Sid. I don't know if we could have done it without you. But we did, and with hardly a man wounded. Which is well, for we'll be needing all the strength we can to keep the Akashic down.
Can we come out now?
Because this was the family just before that were like, promise that you'll come back.
Are you hurt?
It's just a few cuts and bruises. Nothing worth worrying about.
The bearers are just tired. They got nothing to say because they're just tired. But yeah. And then if we just didn't go and have a look, we'd never hear that dialogue. So crazy. I didn't even know that we could go in here. It's probably usually busy.
Sid, you're even more fearsome than your reputation. Enough to give those Akashic monsters nightmares. I almost felt sorry for the wretched things. But mostly, I felt grateful. Dravoged won't forget what you did today.
I'm afraid I've only delayed the inevitable. There's no getting rid of that ether flood. Meaning that any living thing which stumbles into those mines will end up clawing at your walls again.
And that's if the flood don't spread. If it does, well, I hate to say it, but the village's days are numbered.
That may be, but we're staying just the same. With ether floods springing up all over, it's no less safe than anywhere, and more importantly, it's our home. We'll fortify the gates to the north, and I'll see that they're guarded day and night.
All right. Then we'll give you a hand shoring up those defenses.
As for you, Blackthorn, that's twice you've turned up when Dravos needed you. So, thanks.
I shouldn't have stayed away so long. And I shouldn't have left without talking it over with you first.
Too bloody right you shouldn't. Though I doubt I'd have listened. I always envied you. How you made everything look so easy when, for me, it was anything but. You leaving gave me the perfect excuse to hate you. And from that day on, I never once stopped to wonder what it would have been like if you'd stayed. But what you said earlier, it was true. You'd have been the death of this place.
Finally, something we can agree on. I hope you see the sense of it eventually. You kept this place alive.
Alive, perhaps. Wealthy even, but Dravoged isn't what it once was. Our work used to be the pride of Dalmekia. Now, we churn out the same rubbish day after day because it's easy and turns a profit. It's not about the craft anymore. I wouldn't send my sons to war wearing the shit most of our smiths are making. I've kept working, honing my skills, trying to lead by example, but no one sees the point. The average castle apprentice has as much passion for the craft as our current lot. Come back to us, Blackthorn. Remind Dravoged what a true master blacksmith looks like. I'll even man those bellows of yours if it means we can work at the same forge again.
That's a kind offer. Kinder than I deserve. And I wish I could accept, but I'm needed elsewhere. There's people who trust their lives to my steel, and I daren't let them down.
Fair enough.
But that doesn't mean I couldn't visit from time to time. Let's see if we can't rekindle this town's passion for the craft, shall we?
I'd like that.
Just be sure to tell Snotty to let me in the next time I come calling, yeah?
Knowing him, he'd let you in anyway. The Master Smith turned outlaw, back in my good graces. I never thought I'd see the day.
I'd say that went pretty well, wouldn't you?
Even better than I'd hoped.
Sid, I've got something for you.
And this is?
A token of our lasting gratitude. But I'm of a mind to make you a far grander gift. Designs for a certain sword have been passed down from chief to chief for generations.
Now hold on, Zoltan. There's a reason no one's made that blade in centuries. There's not been a craftsman equal to the task. I'll admit your cinders make impressive steel, and I've learned to own an edge Odin will be proud of. But the engravings on that thing are enough to make a jeweler cry. And they're not just for show, either.
Have you forgotten what brought you back to Dravozd in the first place? A certain ring? I knew I'd never surpass you with a hammer and tongs. So I turned my hand to a different kind of metalwork. Between the two of us, I'd say we're the equal of any master craftsman ever to have graced a forge.
You know what? I think you might be right. Clive, you wouldn't mind if Zoltan came back to the hideaway, would you?
He's more than welcome. As long as he can keep our secret.
Right. Zoltan, get your tools. We've got a legend to forge.
I fucking told you. Zoltan and Blackthorn, Sindri and Brock Ark. They're doing it. They went from brothers to enemies to brothers once more, and we're gonna get... I don't know if I would say we're probably gonna get the ultimate weapon, but like... I'd assume if there was an ultimate weapon in this game, similar to Kingdom Hearts, you got to jump through some significant hoops to get it. But hopefully a pretty decent upgrade, even if it's not a sentimental weapon for sure. I'm very excited that this is actually happening in the way that I thought it would, leading to like the two of them and their separately developed skills going into a blade. I'm so excited.
I'll get him back to the hideaway. Don't you worry about that.
I'll tell you what, Clive. If we pull this off, it will ruin every other sword you've ever held.
Come on, Zoltan. You're in there.
With a little help from Blackthorn, I don't see why we can't restore Dravozd to its former glory. Barring ether floods, that is.
Nice. Okay. Let's return to the hideaway, because I am super curious to see what this is going to be like.
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of Papillon nuts and all.
Here they both are.
Ah, the man himself.
We were just about to make a start on that sword I promised you.
It's funny, but none of this would have been possible without your help. You remember Camille? We'll be using his leatherwork for the grip. The steel, meanwhile, will be tempered in a fire, burning the cinders you charmed out of old Zoltan here. And that whetstone from the Outer Isles, that'll be what gives the blade its edge. And the final flourish will be my talented colleagues' engraving.
A team effort led by the greatest blacksmith alive.
Now, save that talk till the thing's finished, yeah? Right. I'm ready if you are.
To the bellows it is, then.
So satisfying using all of the items that we've picked up. Fusion! Ha! What do we have? 5 years later.
Well, bugger me. We actually did it.
Ooh. That looks fucking nice.
The sword to end all swords. Ragnarok.
Perfectly named.
Quite something.
I trust you'll take good care of it.
Thank you. Both of you.
So, does this make you pair the greatest craftsman alive, then?
This? Nah. This was just following the footsteps of the greats of old. It'll take more than that to earn us our place in history. But we're up for the challenge. Here.
A list of materials.
Zoltan and I got talking on the long road back from Dravost.
We reckon with those items there, we could craft something even better than the Ragnarok. Something worthy of a legendary outlaw like yourself.
That's a weapon I'd like to see. You leave this list with me.
I was hoping you'd say that.
One legend at a time, eh, lads? Before you start on the next, who fancies raising a cup to friendship reforged?
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my past. It's about time I had something to celebrate.
Then tap the kegs! Vulcan's boys are on their way!
They didn't give us the ultimate weapon yet. They gave us like a second to last ultimate weapon named Ragnarok of all things. And then they're like, hey, by the way, here's a list for the Gotterdammerung. Here's the Gotterdammerung. I was wondering what this was going to say, whether it was going to be like Ultima weapon, Omega weapon, anything along those lines, but they're going with a sword that I haven't heard before. When are we going to gain the attention of Gilgamesh with all of these swords that we're wielding? I'm wielding so many rare and legendary blades right now, fused with the power of icons and Ragnarok, and then Gilgamesh has to come call, and he's like, hello? I'm searching for my legendary blades, please? Ancient Ashen legend purports that one day the Age of Dominance will draw to a close in an epic clash of icons that sets the land ablaze, cleansing it of foulness and allowing for its rebirth, a clash they call Ragnarok. Really, seems so fitting for this game as well, and its storyline, and what Ragnarok means in Norse mythology anyway. It's just perfect. And anything that's called Ragnarok in Final Fantasy is automatically badass. The Ragnarok in Final Fantasy VIII is just incredible. That's instantly where my mind goes to when I hear Ragnarok in Final Fantasy. 325, and then a diagram detailing the steps to forge a sword that might slay a god, the Gotterdammerung. Okay, there's our Ultima weapon right there. And I was literally just talking about that. I was like, usually the process for an Ultima weapon is go and get all of these fucking strange materials, and there it is. Oh my lord. Gotterdammerung. That is very cool. And the sword looks amazing too. Doing Blacksmith's Blues has been such a time. All right, let's have a look here. So that's a 25 increase, which is nice because usually we've just been getting small increments. Golden tier weapon right there. Nice. We're still rocking green tier belts as well, because that's just the best stuff overall really at the moment, because we need the Ouroboros stuff. That blade looks real nice. I love that they're already I just love that they're already all right, we made you this badass sword, but I feel like we can do better already.
I never thought me and Zoltan would ever speak again, let alone work together. And if it hadn't been for you, we wouldn't. You've been a good friend of me, Clive. The best.
How about that character development from when we first met him to now? They have done such a tremendous job with the side characters of these games, and all of their side quests are so good, so rewarding, and so full of heart as well.
What do you want?
Just really well done. So we need 3 orichalcum, primitive battle horn, and dark steel. Alright, well that primitive battle horn I reckon's coming right off of a behemoth. 375. If Ragnarok was forged to mark the War of the Gods, then Gotterdammerung, meaning Twilight of the Gods, was forged to mark the fall of those self-same deities. God damn. So we need 3 orichalcum to make this, but then at the same time we also need 1 orichalcum each on the Ouroboros gear, so I'm assuming we may be able to get 5 orichalcum total, because I'm sure that they wouldn't make us choose, because now this is just going to make me want to hold off of building, crafting the belt and the vambraces, just in case. But I'm sure that we'd get more orichalcum, but we've only got 1, so stained loincloth and stone tongue is what's needed.
Anything else?
Things to work towards, that's for sure. I was wondering where this is new now, because I haven't... We've got a dude on the grindstone now.
No need to thank me for the sword. I'm happy just to be here. You've built a fine home for yourselves, and I can see why Blackthorn's so taken with it. Look after the old bastard for me, will you? I'll be off soon, but next time you're in Dalmekir, be sure to pay me a visit. Snotty will let you in.
Do you reckon we finally got to the bottom of Blackthorn's troubles then? That'd be something, eh? Though he wouldn't be Blackthorn if he didn't give us the odd scale.
I think we did it. I think Blacksmith's blues is all done.
We've run out of peppy these days.
Alright, we're getting out of here. We've got multiple quests out into the field, so let's go and do that. Lost Plume, Advent, and Silent Sow for spherical echoes. But there's something at the Dalamil Inn, there's something in Tabor, there's something in Bocklad, there's another thing in Northreach, and there's something in Martha's Rest. Oh my dear lord. Okay, let's focus on picking everything up, because there might be some crossover in locations. So we'll just go through and pick up all of the side quests, see what's troubling everybody, and then we will be able to multitask. Just gotta go and show off my brand new sword to everyone. Hey guys, like my cool fancy new blade?
Ah, Clive, I was just about to send for you. I'd like you to take something to Sir Wade up in Eastpool. Seeds for planting. Thought it was about time they started growing their own food. I'll keep providing them with whatever they need in the meantime, of course. But if Eastpool's going to survive, it's got to be able to fend for itself. As of those poor bearers. They've lived their whole lives in servitude, but now they're their own masters. Small wonder they ain't got the foggiest how to provide for themselves. So it's up to us to teach them. And if you're wondering why you, well, the wagoneers taking supplies up that way have been coming back with more and more reports of Akashic around the village of late. Sir Wade's putting a brave face on it, but I think even he's starting to worry. And if he's likely to share those concerns with anyone, it's you.
Okay, alright.
Alright.
Thanks. Wouldn't ask if I didn't have to. There. That should be enough to keep him in Gazal Greens for a few years at least.
Gazal Greens?
Not the most mouth-watering crop, I'll admit. But they're hardy, they grow fast, and they fill a hole. Better that than something that'll wither away at first frost. And chocobos love 'em too, which is no small thing. When I say all of us need to pull together to get Eastpool back on its feet, I mean all of us. They ain't exactly succulent, but cook 'em right and they're just about bearable.
I'll take your word for it.
Anyway, Sir Wade'll know what to do with them. And if he don't, well, I'll go up there and show him myself.
I'm sure you will.
Nice. Everyone's just going to be on a diet of Geisel greens. Yummy. I wonder if they'll be able to... I guess they'll be able to grow stuff. Or do they need some of the hideaways' little secrets on how we grow our crops?
Are the bearers taking well to their new home, do you know? I sometimes worry how they'll manage without me to cook and clean for them.
Alright, off to Eastpool. Well, considering this one is like right around the corner, we'll focus on this one before we go and pick up all the other side quests, because it's nearby.
I heard the Guardians saying we're supposed to grow our own food.
The victuals Martha sends us are more than enough for me.
I don't want to grow my own food.
Can't help thinking it would be quicker and easier to take care of the repairs ourselves than explaining all the ins and outs to the bearers. At this rate, only the Founder knows when we'll be finished.
Ah, Lord Rossfield. What brings you to Eastpool?
A delivery from Martha.
While chocobos adore Geisel Greens, their human masters find them significantly less toothsome, turning them to them only in times of hardship, most often after their faithful steeds have already been added to the pot. Oh, why would you add that at the end? Oh my god. Hey, you guys, we're not going to feed you anymore, so you can eat the chocobo greens. You like these, right? It's like, here, can you go and eat all of the dog food? Grow your own dog food. Enjoy.
These are Gizal green seeds. Martha's keen to cut the apron strings then, is she? I jest, of course. You see, I had thought we might be able to revive the old wheat fields, but they'd long since gone to seed, only without the seeds.
Martha was hoping he might be able to show the bearers how to plant and tend these, so that they'll be able to fend for themselves.
That's not a bad idea. These bearers had only recently escaped their bonds before we brought them here. They know little of freedom, of providing for themselves and their loved ones. Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved in bringing them here is to exchange one master for another. Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far, subsisting almost entirely on Martha's charity as we do. It's about time we all started to provide for ourselves, bearers and Guardians alike. Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides bolstering our defenses. There have been alarming reports of...
The Horde is closing in. They're coming, so wait, all of them.
Time it all. I thought we'd have more time. Gather the men in the square. Send to the rest for reinforcements.
Yes, Sir Wade.
The Horde.
A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. They've been seen prowling around the northern reaches for a while now. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size. I had hoped to build a perimeter wall so that myself and the Guardians might be able to defend the village, but...
Now you're out of time.
Precisely. If reinforcements from the rest arrive before they do, we may just scrape through, but I fear that's rather an enormous if.
What if you could call on reinforcements from Eastpool?
You mean the bearers? We brought them here so they might live, not die fighting for their lives.
So wait. You said you lack men to defend the village. Are the bearers not men? Do they not wish to see Eastpool saved? Though they may not be trained soldiers like your Guardians. What help they are able to offer could still prove the difference between victory and defeat.
You're right, my lord. I will appeal to them. My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
They're so excited.
You would send us to the slaughter. To serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will. A home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place, Eastpool. This is your village. Your home. And if you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you? Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves? Or will you fight like free men and women?
With my frying pan weapon. Ultimate weapon right there. That's what we need to make. Martha's speech is very, very good. She's great. I love her. She's a good character.
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword. I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool! For Eastpool!
We just needed Martha to give the speech instead of Wade. Wade's like, I tried my best. Thanks, Martha.
Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
Yeah, dude, Martha is great. There are so many good characters in this game, and they make all of the side characters so valuable and important.
Well, if it was numbers you were lacking, you certainly won't be now.
Thanks to you.
Me? Oh, I just love the sound of my own voice.
Lord Rossfield, my lady, we're ready.
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves at strategic points around the village. Upon engaging with the Akashek, each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best they can, steadily retreating all the while.
You're going to lure them into the village?
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. Instead, we will focus purely on defense at first. By coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers, we will aim to have the swarm converge at a point of our choosing. With luck, that point will be the village square, the perfect place for our most able warriors to surround them and fall upon them, and for you and I to finish them off.
A sound plan, but one that'll require a leader with a cool head and strong nerves to coordinate the retreat. I'd say you have both in abundance, Sir Wade, but you'll be needed. Please, leave the last of the fighting to me.
Ha! And let you have all the glory.
Sir Wade! They're here!
Then you know what you must do. We work together, everyone playing their part, each shielding the other that no man might fall, that Eastpool might live on. For Rosaria!
For Rosaria!
We've no time to argue, my lord. I'll do as you ask.
And I will do as you ask.
Suppose we'd better do our bit too then, eh?
Right you are, Martha.
I'm very impressed with the characterization across the board on this game. Like, it's just so well done. Like, we have so... Why? What? Okay. Hello? Hi, Joshua. Like, just so many side characters in this game get deserved attention, and they get very well fleshed out, and you spend a lot of time with them, and they're so memorable, and they're not just like ones that pop up for a second just as like, hi, my only purpose here is to give you a quest and I will disappear. Like, they continually are relevant to the story, and these side quests at the very beginning of the game, the side quest was super basic. It was like, serve 3 plates to people sort of thing. And I was like, oh no, this is kind of weird. And then they just started getting good. At one, they just hit a specific point. We're like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for. And then it stays at that quality. There's a couple here and there that were like, but then for the most part, really just amazing side quests that you get to know these characters. It fleshes them out so much, and it gets very personal. And I really, really appreciate that this game really stays true to that sort of theme that it's going for, which is, you know, fighting for a free life, for a new world for everyone. And it's not just for me, the chosen one, who's this weird icon absorber, but it's for everyone. And it just makes the bearers always seem so important. It always reminds you of what you're fighting for and how valuable everyone around you is. It's very, very satisfying, because it isn't a story that forgets about those things, or it like doesn't, you know, it doesn't draw attention onto just you, and then you kind of forget what you're fighting for, or it's like you never really see what you're fighting for. Like, there are stories that put a lot of importance on what you're doing for people, or, you know, who you're fighting for, that sort of thing, and you never see them. And an example I'll give is in, like, and this is a completely different game, but a similar example is in Destiny. You are guardians fighting for humanity. You are fighting to protect the last city, your little final bastion against the darkness. Actually, maybe it's not so different. There's an encroaching blight of the darkness, and you are in this little, you have to fight back against it, right? And it's all coming up against you. You never go to that last city to see the people that you are protecting. You know, you never have a personal connection with these people. You see stuff in cutscenes over time, and they've slowly improved in that regard, but like, you never can just walk around the streets of the last city and see the people you're fighting for and talk with them and see that kind of level isn't there. And I know that it's probably not a fair comparison in terms of going from a single player RPG to a sort of action MMO-like experience. But in terms of really nailing that storytelling and characterization of, like, you actually have an emotional connection to the people you're fighting for, it matters, and you have that in the forefront of your mind during the story. Everything has much more weight. And the side quests are optional. You don't have to do them, and that's perfectly fine. There's people that just want, like, the set pieces, the boss fights, the action. But I think what really enhances this game and its story and its world, like, as a whole, these side quests really nail it for me. It improves the game even more, because you can have, like, this game has amazing set pieces and the presentation is like 11 out of 10, but then it could, like, not hit the mark on anything else. And I think that this game has 11 out of 10 set pieces, and then it also has just incredible background stuff that you can engage with. The hunts are fun, the characters are great, they're good to engage with. It's all just good. It's all good.
Calm before the storm.
And that's my little ramble, positivity ramble at the very least. It's all just amazing.
And here it comes.
Why is Joshua in my active time lore?
I will not let this village fall. Farewell. Enough.
Now, Torgal!
You're finished.
Look at those little guys.
Kill! And another! Now, Torgal! Farewell! Torgal, kill! All yours, Torgal.
Is that all you've got? Try harder next time, dude.
Looks like that's the last of them.
Lord Rossfield! Change of plan!
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's ride and is headed in their direction.
Well, the better half of her guard is here. So Wade, how many Akashic remain in East Pool?
Hard to say. My men are still facing some resistance, but I think the worst is behind us. I could order a detachment or two to fall back and...
No. Let them finish the job. You stay here too, Sir Wade. Your men need you. I'll go after the curl. Join me only when East Pool is won.
If you're sure, my lord. May the Founder protect you.
I still can't bring myself to say curl. I want to say curl. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to overwrite my child brain of how I've been saying it in my head all this time. Curl. Like, it's easier to say curl than curl.
Come to tell me an Akashic curl's heading towards the rest? Get yourself down there. We can handle things here.
Next one's mine. I might not know one end of a sword from the other, but I can roast the bastards.
All right, but stay with me. We fight as one.
The curl was sighted on Rhiannon's ride back towards Martha's Rest. Founder speed you, my lord.
Founder speed you, my lord.
East Pool will be safe in our hands, my lord. You have my word.
Off we go, then. Ambrosia, it's been so long. I kind of wish that they kept the music.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Because now we're back to beautiful music as we traverse instead of maintaining that sort of tension. It's a little bit weird. Oh, okay. Are you ready?
There it is.
A Banda curl.
With me,
like
Tom.
Bandersnatch?
Nice try. Garuda?
Yep. Okay, I'll just let you pounce on me.
Too slow. Nice try. All yours, Torgal.
He's a sucker for staggering, isn't he? Absolutely. He made it too easy. Curl whisker. Nice.
All right. Back to Eastpool.
Back on to Eastpool, mate. That curl makes itself a bit too susceptible to staggering. A banda curl, though.
Lord Rossfield, the curl, is it?
It's dead.
Thank the Founder for that. And for you, my lord. We were able to eradicate the rest of the Horde. I have guardians posted around the village to keep watch for further attacks, but all seems quiet for now. I hesitate to say it, but I think it might be over.
I think it might.
We did it. We saved Eastpool. Thank you, my friends. Thank you.
No, Sir Wade. It's us who should be thanking you. You brought us together. Showed us what it means to fight for what you hold dear.
We never had nothing to call our own before. We didn't know what it meant to protect it, but now we do. We really do.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. You and your people saved us, and still we doubted you. But there's no doubt in my mind anymore. We're free men now, so we have to start acting like it. We have to fight to protect what's ours, to protect Eastpool.
And we shall. We all shall. Together. This is our home. And if anyone or anything tries to take it away,
they'll have us to answer to.
Come on then. Let's get to work.
This village isn't going to rebuild itself.
Let's get the bearers some proper clothes while we're at it too, guys. Because they're constantly in rags. Get them something a bit comfier, will ya?
They're not slaves anymore.
no. They're Rosarians. Your father took pity on the bearer's plight, and I believe if he was still with us today, this is what he would have wanted.
I believe you might be right.
I shall remain here, my lord, and do what I can to help rebuild the village. After all, this is my home now too, and I could hardly call myself an Eastpoolian if I didn't pull my weight.
I think you'll find it's Eastpudlian, Sir Wade. But you should be proud all the same. I'll have to pull my weight too. Can't have the rest getting outclassed. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back.
Can we continue to count on your support, Martha?
Of course, and I'll be counting on yours too. Us Rosarians have got to stick together, haven't we?
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stables when you get the chance. I ain't paid you for delivering them seeds yet.
All right, I will.
Lord Rossfield, do you remember our very first mission together? Clearing the goblins from the Stillwind Marshes?
How could I forget?
There's one sight that I shall never forget. You, facing off against that giant Morble. Not a trace of fear on your face. Since that day, there have been more than a few times when I felt like giving up. When the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor, I thought I may as well just lay down my sword and surrender. But every time I would think back to the look in your eyes that day and remember what it means to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face, I shall never lose courage. Thanks to you.
So Wade, you have always been a true shield. I know that Eastpool, and indeed all of Rosaria, will be safe in your hands.
Thank you, my lord. I know the rest of the world will be safe in yours.
I'll do my best.
Nice. We need to be able to think back to 18 years ago when we were young Clive, teenage Clive. It's so weird. It feels like it's been so long ago now. You just like, I remember that the young Clive like character model exists, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's so baby.
Thank you again for all you have done for me and mine, my lord. You may rest assured that Eastpool will be safe in my hands. Thanks to you.
He has grown very, very well from his previous haircut into rugged man.
We defended Eastpool once, and we can do it again, and again, and again.
Hell yeah, dude, and next time I won't be here, so you'll actually do something.
Thank you, my lord. You showed us what it means to fight for what's ours, and we shall strive to follow in your footsteps.
Alright. Hopefully an Akashic code doesn't come through here, because I will not be here.
We couldn't have done this if we hadn't all pulled together. Even you and Martha chipped in. We owe you a debt of gratitude, my lord.
Even you and Martha pulled in, lad. Alright, that's that side quest done. Lovely. Actually, no, it's not done. We have to speak with Martha. Gonna head on over to the Golden Stables. Clive, have you made sure that you're wearing your engagement ring? You need to let everyone know that you've got Jill's icon abilities inside of you. So, behave yourself, will you?
The hero returns. It's lucky you came by when you did, eh? Not only did my seeds get delivered, but you went and saved Eastpool and all.
I just did what I could.
And it's only right that you get rewarded for it. Take it before I change my mind.
Thank you, Martha.
So, Eastpool's finally back on its feet again. And a home to free bearers. Who'd have thought we'd see the day, eh?
Well, it was your idea.
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of themselves, thinking for themselves, working for themselves. Not your hideaway, but not even hidden away. Though I suppose the rest ain't much different nowadays. You know, bearers living free like that reminds me of when I first met Sid. Loath as I am to recall that particular day.
I take it you didn't always see eye to eye. What happened?
Well, if you really want to know, I started doing what I do long before I met Sid. In fact, that's how I met him. Or at least how he came to meet me.
Flashback.
He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bearers. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something awful, anyway. Me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow we both managed to work out what each other was about. And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard work. Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. That my bearers were still dying as slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report me to the garrison. And do you know what he did? He smiled. And then he laughed. And then I did the same. We made a pact that day. That whenever one of us was in need, the other would always be there for him.
And you were?
Well, we both wanted the same thing. To make life better for bearers. Just like your dad. Do you know I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke? Growing up, I saw how he tried to change things. He certainly didn't lack for ambition, that one.
Indeed. But the loftier one's ambitions, the harder they are to achieve. Which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people like Sid and my father started.
Suppose you're right, aye. And if we don't manage it, there's always them who come after us. Good thing we've got a few half-decent sorts waiting in the wings, eh? It's almost enough to give you a little bit of hope.
Just a little.
Anyway, enough nattering. Better get back to work. Let's see about making everyone some dinner, shall we? The least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve is a hot meal. And you and me ain't gonna save the world on an empty stomach neither.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
I thought I was going to get a flashback scene when it faded to black. That seems like it was setting up for one, and then it was like, no, we're just going to slowly zoom in on the sign, and then we're going to give it to you. That's the second signboard we have now. The emblem of Martha's Rest, personal fiefdom of the Golden Stable's indomitable landlady. To those with no love for the Empire, the settlement stands as an island of safety in a sea of anything but.
Don't worry, Clive. You went alone in this fight. Whenever you find yourself in need, be it of money, men, or a bowl of hot stew, the stable's door is always open.
Alright, thank you. Alright, where to next? We can go and hunt for a spherical echo around this way, so I guess I'll search for this now.
I'll need to deal with these ones first.
All yours, Torgal. Fire and flame! Nice try.
That was almost a really good finish.
Miracle Echo.
It was almost a really good finish.
This is it. Right then. Just two more to find.
Nice. Advent Silent Sow. However, we also have more side quests out in the wild, so let's head off to Northreach because we can get 2 done in the same area. I wonder how lengthy these other side quests might end up being. Alright, so let's head to the Vale. I think the quest was under new management?
But there were ghosts at the gates not days ago.
Was it under new management? Yeah. What is going on at the Vale?
Those things I said before.
So many were injured. Oh, Clive. What am I to do? My wards and I may soon be without a home.
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne and taken up residence here in Northreach.
The High Cardinal?
Leader of the Council of Elders, second only to his Radiance at the head of the Imperial government. Not that any of those things still exist. Now he goes by his noble title, the Duke of Oriflamme.
And what does he want with Northreach?
He wants to transform it into a military stronghold, a foundation upon which to build a new Sambrec. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve in his empire. One built on the confiscated property of the people.
He would rob the populace to pay for it.
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from this folly. But for whatever reason, he will not listen to me.
What does Captain Philippe make of this? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around. Couldn't he use that influence again?
How? By speaking out against one of the most powerful men in Sambrec. A man whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve, and to improve the soldiers' lot within it. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel, and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke offers them a vision of strength and safety. No. Any attempt to incite mutiny would cost Philippe the support of his men, if it did not cost him his life. But given the mood around town, mutiny may yet be unavoidable. The people have little appetite for further deprivation, least of all when it serves only to elevate others.
And who could blame them?
Clive, would you appeal to the Duke on my behalf? For your services to Northreach, you have the respect of the soldiers, and they will take you to His Eminence if you ask them. And unlike Philippe, no bonds of loyalty prevent you from speaking your mind to the man. Well, will you try? You could hardly fare any worse than I did.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Clive.
Tell me then, where will I find this Duke of Oriflamme? In the garrison?
Overseeing the troops, yes.
All right. Wish me luck.
Okay. So, under new management is not directly about the Vale, but about Northreach in general.
I may have met this Duke before, at the Remembrance Ceremony. Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
Oh. Not ringing a bell at the moment. Maybe when I see his face. There's just been so much happening in this game.
The Vale will see to me.
Halt! Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here. I'll go and ask.
I'm wearing one of my fancy seals that everyone keeps giving me. Ah, yes, I remember.
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid to the garrison. The Empire owes you a debt, and I shall see it repaid. But tell me, is it wealth that you seek, or favor?
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan to turn Northreach into a stronghold.
Ah, I see. You are worried the expanded garrison will render your services redundant. Yet you needn't be. A proud fighting man like yourself shall always have a place here. Pride of place, in fact. For too long has the contribution of the noble soldier been under-reckoned. But no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt, beginning right here in Northreach.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles. Her defenses are sound, and her garrison well prepared. Which is more than can be said for Oriflamme or Twinside. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be the perfect place. With Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both the town and the castle, we need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the envy of the twins. Plans are already underway for the construction. Soon enough, these thralls shall learn that they are no match for the might of Sanbreque.
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are, Your Eminence. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been deprived of their worldly goods.
The people will do as their leaders command. If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, she will require a functioning government. One whose authority is beyond question. That is why this levy is necessary. So that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as befits a defender of the Empire. And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek to steal from the people and drive them from their homes.
I suspect they're afraid of losing what little they have left.
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive them of even that. You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
Sabine, we have discussed this.
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
Without an empire, there are no citizens.
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later. A citizen's revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, I suppose.
I don't think we've seen this guy before.
On the other side of the wall.
I said I remember, but I think that's because he's like dressed in similar colors that I've seen.
You're embarrassing yourself.
I think he's just wearing similar clothes that old politician dudes have worn in the game. So I was like, oh yeah, this guy. But no, because I think the remembrance ceremony was before this game. I don't think there's been a remembrance ceremony in the events of this game. So I think they're alluding to something that's taken place like before us, like when everyone was like younger. And then I allowed myself to get confused because I'm like, am I remembering wrong? Is the game putting memories in my head? Or is it just an old man? So I'm going, yes, I remember looking at an old man once. It's got to be that guy. All old people look the same. Here I am talking about memorable NPCs, and then I've got a game going, you remember this one, don't you? I bet you don't. Because you never even met him before. Yeah. Getting him confused with other old people, I think. All right, speak with the townspeople outside the wall. Let's go take a look.
As long as you remain.
It was just funny. So it was like as soon as I was looking at him and going, I remember, my brain was going, no, you don't. I'm like, I don't think I do.
You needn't fret. The creatures have been
wrestling with my own memory now. So they want to refortify Caer Northern and make a big old city. With no mother crystal.
All right there. What is it you're after, sir?
Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Oriflamme.
Oh, him. Not much. None of us traders do. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble getting any closer to the holy capital, could they? And now he's trying to drive us out completely. Threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'll be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand.
That's a good opinion. Thank you for your survey response.
I heard the dame got an eye concert with the meadows.
A question, if you don't mind. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
Don't get me started. You build a life for yourself somewhere, only for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purses, he's in for a rude awakening. We'll do whatever it takes to keep what's ours. Whatever it takes.
Solid. About the response that I expected. Anybody here like the Duke of Oriflamme? Anybody get any good opinions of the man? Does anybody like rich nobles who want to kick you out of your homes and stalls?
I've been hearing a lot of talk about a certain duke.
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns the place. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she still is. Just need his eminence to sod off back to Oriflamme.
Sod
the
off,
people
mate.
seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
Okay. Hey, Duke of Oriflamme, I've signed this petition. 6 people have said, fuck off.
Those things I said before.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts on the Duke of Oriflamme.
Well, he's made a lot of enemies coming in the way he did. I mean, look around us. You can see the state the realm's in. The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before things got bad, maybe they wouldn't have to. I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire's the best way of making sure we're all protected. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's just how it goes.
That's just how it goes, mate.
You're the one who was talking to His Eminence.
On the dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted, but it seems my words fell on deaf ears. What do you think of his plans?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me what to do, not the other way round. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the dame, but I've got a family to look after. That's where my loyalties lie, not with the town or the Empire, but with my wife and children. If the Duke can get us some men and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards, I don't care how he does it.
Well, that's a very positive and happy guy over there, isn't it?
You are embarrassing me.
You're embarrassing yourself.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into some sort of fortress. Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word is law. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. Once Sandbreak is back on her feet, we'll all reap the benefits.
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this.
Where is he? I'll have a word with him. Felipe. Felipe. Where have you gone?
Captain, do you have a moment?
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, I'm in two minds. It's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders. But I can't say I agree with him.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved. The Dame included.
That's right, I did.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either. She thinks they could tear Northreach apart.
And she's probably right. Thank you, Clive. I know what I need to do now. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Doesn't matter how. Well, duty calls, so I better go. Thanks again.
Nice work. Nice work.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
Like, hey Isabel, the people are upset as you assumed, and Philippe loves you so much. I wish we could sprint in the towns. Let me run like a madman.
Ah, Clive. How did you fare? Were you able to speak with the Duke?
I was, but...
So Northreach is to be a fortress after all. Well, it will certainly help to hold back the thralls. There's no denying that. Though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are confiscated to pay for it. They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire the Duke means to build.
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions, and hopes to reassert the authority of the state. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the greater good. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were in your hands. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders. And not just because of the Duke's rank, but because of his vision.
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sambrek, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise from the ashes. Thank you for trying. But the battle is lost.
I don't know about that.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
But why?
Because I realized what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together, all of us. And with you to lead us, milady, I reckon we can do it. It was you who finally convinced me, Clive. There's no point following orders if they go against everything you believe.
Indeed.
All of us, standing together. That has always been Northreach's best hope, and one which still lies within our grasp. We have only to turn our attentions to the true enemy. Thank you, Philippe, for showing me what I must do.
Anything for you, milady. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around the town? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind for the guard.
Not at all. Be my guest.
Wouldn't be the first time.
There may be hope for Northreach yet, especially with men like you and Philippe to champion our cause. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that I might still tempt him into joining hands. But I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid again. Until then, Clive.
Until then,
Okay, there might be a follow-up to this quest then, later, maybe, if more side quests pop up, but not really much going on there. If it has a follow-up, I guess that'll make a lot more sense. Otherwise, this is just kind of like you just go here and it's like, yeah, deal with it. This place is becoming a fortress, and you're like, oh, okay, that kind of sucks.
Despite my repeated advances, His Eminence has proven a difficult conquest. Fortunately, I am nothing if not persistent. But, be that as it may, I might yet need you to press the point.
I'd expect there will be a follow-up later on then. Under new management 2. Or something like that. But yeah, just a bit of a non-quest at the moment, but if it does have a follow-up, I get why it's there, because it's to establish the political changes in Northreach. But with that one, that'll be our last side quest that we do for this episode. Next time, we'll be continuing our adventures into the other ones still on our to-do list. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Final Fantasy XVI, and I'll see you next time.